joining us here at noon on this Monday. I'm Dustin Grove. I want to get right to meteorologist Sean Ash. An active weather weekend, and strong storms.
Yeah.
We've got more in the forecast. Now it's much colder.
Yeah, and this is typical of spring.
Yeah.
Ups and downs, these big rapid swings in temperatures causing the severe weather. Colder today. We will warm up midweek and we'll pay a price for it. I do want to take a radar review of what happened yesterday as we had 2 streaks of wind damage with a cluster of storms that blew through the northern half of the state and then another cluster that blew through the central and southern. So 2 distinct damage paths, one from near Terre Haute north and northeast, and then the second one that came through a little bit later in the day and got out of here before midnight was targeting more the south central part of the state down into parts of Kentucky and Ohio. In its wake, tens of thousands remain without power along the Michiana border into lower Michigan. And then with that secondary line, the Weather Service crews are out surveying damage across parts of Monroe, Brown, and Bartholomew counties. Definitely wind damage, but there may be some tornado damage with it as well. We still have nearly 2,000 customers without power in that zone. In its wake, cloudy, much colder. Temperatures right now in the 40s with a brisk wind, and we're seeing a few sprinkles coming from the cloud cover. We'll talk about a colder night, the warm up ahead, and a weather impact alert day in the 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then, Sean. Thank you. Communities across Indiana, they are cleaning up today. Sean mentioned it after those severe storms swept through yesterday and then into last night. No damage here in Indianapolis, but let's start here because I want to show you this time-lapse video. This is from our tower cam. It shows the thunderstorm moving into the downtown area. You can see the sky gradually getting darker as those clouds and then rain take over the skyline. Sunday storms caused some major delays, even some cancellations at Indianapolis International Airport. We know many travelers ended up getting stranded yesterday there at the airport. Now, we mentioned damage. Some of that damage is down in Bartholomew County. That's where the National Weather Service will likely be today, taking a look at whether it was straight line winds or a tornado. The sheriff shared these pictures you're seeing here. The storm tossed metal and debris into people's yards, as you're seeing in some of these pictures. Strong winds downed power poles, knocking them right onto the street and the roads. Crews are working to get those cleaned up and taken care of. And even more serious storm damage to our north. This is in Mishawaka, St. Joe County, just east of South Bend, where a tree snapped in half, as you just saw right there, fell right onto the power lines. At last check, more than 15,000 homes and businesses were still without power up in the northern Indiana area. We're told a lot of trees in the South Bend area were uprooted or just blown over in that storm. The National Weather Service will be on site there today as well. Turning now to a violent weekend in Indianapolis. A 17-year-old is dead and another juvenile is critically injured after a shooting on Indy's northeast side. Just a few hours ago, the Marion County coroner identified that teen killed as Taiwan Jones. Police tell us it happened just after 7 last night at a gas station near 42nd and Mithofer. IMPD says somebody called 911 saying a young man had been shot there. A few minutes later, another call came in just a block south from somebody saying another juvenile knocked on their door after they were shot. Both victims were taken to the hospital. That's where Jones died. The other juvenile at last check was in critical condition but stable. Police have not shared any information so far about a possible suspect or motive in that case. And just a few hours earlier, it happened again. Another deadly shooting just steps away from that double shooting. This one happened at an apartment complex east of the gas station we just mentioned. Just a few hours ago, 13 News learned from the Marion County coroner the victim in that case is Isaiah Booker. He's just 19 years old, and our Anna Chalker was at the scene.
Something that nobody wants to see happen in their backyard, let alone anywhere.
Evidence markers scattered through this parking lot and neighbors standing around in disbelief as police turned their apartment complex into a crime scene. Around 10:30 Sunday morning, officers responded to Shady Oak Drive on a report of a person shot. They found a man lying near this dumpster with gunshot wounds. He died at the scene.
Somebody knows what happened here. Family's grieving, Nobody should have to experience anything like this, and no parent should have to be planning their child's funeral.
Neighbors tell me off camera they saw a group of men fighting before they heard gunshots. They also say this complex is no stranger to violence. In 2020, 1 woman and 3 men were shot and killed inside one of the apartments. They say while they're used to shootings here, it's still heartbreaking that another person was killed.
I can't imagine the pain that the family's experiencing. They're going to have to get that dreaded knock on the door. And no instance of violence is acceptable in our city.
Police are still searching for a suspect, and if you have any information or any doorbell video from this location, you're asked to call police. You can call them at Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
Right now, 13 News is working to learn if charges have been filed against a driver in a slow-speed police chase on the interstate. This has gone viral on social media. A lot of viewers commenting on our 13 News Facebook page as it was happening Saturday night, all likely because of what police were chasing. Take a look. This is video. It's from our INDOT cameras around 9 o'clock Saturday night. This is when it all started. You can see what appears to be that allegedly stolen skid steer. Yeah, a piece of construction equipment going up the east ramp onto 465. It kept going at a creeping pace along the way, as you'd expect from a piece of construction equipment. In fact, take a look at the backup here. This is 5 minutes of video compressed into about 20 seconds to show you the impact on traffic along the interstate there Saturday night. Eventually, the skid steer got onto northbound I-65. There it is right there, crawling along, and still chased by police at speeds of 4 to up to 7 miles an hour. After more than an hour and a half, that low-speed chase turned into a SWAT situation near Prospect and Pleasant Run Parkway in the city of Indianapolis. So they got off the interstate onto the city streets. The driver who was trying to dodge police was eventually taken into custody. We're working to learn more about that. We'll let you know when we do. An office space in Carmel is changing the work experience for more than 3,000 tenants. This is all part of a $40 million renovation at a place called Carmel Gateway. It's one of the area's largest office parks. Leaders at the office park say they're giving employees the true meaning of work-life balance without having to go home. Some of the new amenities for employees include walking trails, as you see right there. They've also got a pickleball court, a cafe, even a gym right there on the campus. Managers tell us they want to help get workers back into the building after being away during the pandemic.
Here at Carmel Gateway, the nature of work is changing. And it's not just changing here on property, it's changing everywhere. Work-life balance is really important, and our rebrand is really aligned with wanting to focus on the person outside of their career here.
This is all leading up to the office space working with the city of Carmel to turn nearly 3 acres of parking space into green space. Part of that will be for an amphitheater for neighbors and workers to enjoy. They hope to break ground on that in the next couple of weeks. A huge celebration on the northwest side of Indy for the reopening of the Indianapolis Public Library's Pike Branch. Take a look here. The library celebrated with entertainment. They had music and a safari animal show as well. Some of the new features at the library include group study rooms. They've got a dedicated area for teens and even a podcast recording studio. There's also more access to outlets for charging phones and laptops. The library has been closed for more than a year to get to this point, so this was a huge day being able to open back up. The library is also going green. The branch is seeking a certification right now for energy and resource conservation. The NCAA men's tournament, especially the Midwest Regional, brought in tens of thousands of fans over the weekend. Unfortunately, the Purdue Boilermakers were not able to make it onto the Final Four or even the Elite Eight, but the weekend was a huge success for downtown businesses. Downtown Indy Inc. believes the city had a total of 70,000 visitors and they spent about $30 million. That's a higher than normal total for a regional tournament, especially since Purdue is in the bracket and teams like Tennessee and Kentucky, they travel well. So a lot of people were able to drive here and spend the weekend. Some bars and restaurants usually close on Sundays, but they opened up for a few hours yesterday.
It's been a huge shot in the arm. I mean, we get through the wintertime on smaller events, on sporting events, and keep things going until baseball season and the concerts kick out down the street.
As for the game yesterday, Houston now headed to the Final Four. The Cougars beat Tennessee 69-50. This is Houston's 7th overall trip to the Final Four and their first since 2021.